former Toronto Maple Leaf from the Matt Sundin era, the Pat Quinn era. It is Jonas Höglund. What's going on, Jonas? Thanks so much for doing this today.
Well, thank you for having me, boys.
Our pleasure, our pleasure. So give us the mood of what's going on in Sweden, obviously getting ready for the Global Series here.
Yeah, it's like you said, 4 teams here, and all the Swedes are excited to see to watch NHL games live, and especially Toronto. It's with the way Willie is playing right now, pretty excited to see him, and also Minnesota Wild have got 5 Swedes in their team, so it's going to be exciting few games here.
So this will be a packed barn for these games, I'm sure, Jonas. Are you going to be joining it, watching the game? You got tickets?
I'm actually going to do like a Q&A before the Minnesota game on Sunday, so I'm going to watch that game live. But before that, I'm not going to see any games live. I'm going to be at home and watch TV, and then go up to Stockholm on Sunday.
Because you mentioned Willie's an absolute rock star. He's a rock star here in North America. I could only wonder what he's like in Sweden. Can you give us a sense of like how big Willie Nylander truly is in Sweden right now?
Oh, it's tough to say, really. To be honest with you, I think it's bigger in Canada and Toronto right now than it is in Sweden. But that's why they're going over to Sweden to play, right? To get them, to get the young
exposure.
Kids, exactly, the exposure, and to get to see them live. I think they have a lot of kids watching their practices, pre-game skates and whatnot. So, and they're going out doing some stuff within the community, local schools or whatever they do. So, just to get them, get the NHL players exposure in Sweden. So, but in far as, I think it's bigger in Canada right now, but it's more now, with all the social media, and now everybody can watch the games, right? So, but it's because of the time difference. They're in the middle of the night, so it's tough for the kids to see them live, right? So, yeah, this is the good way to see them live.
For sure. Speaking of stud Swedish players, you had, I'm sure, the privilege of playing with Matt Sundin for quite a few years there. What was that experience like, and how do you rank him as far as his talent level?
I rank him as the top, for sure, the best player that I played with. And I played with some good players over there too, but the best Swedish player ever, in my opinion, to play over there, and to watch him every day, how much he worked, and off the ice and in the gym, and the way he treated media, handled the media stuff. As a captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs, you had to bad games, good games. As soon as something happened, he was the one that had to talk to the scrums after the games and practices. So I was very impressed with that.
Jonas, we were talking earlier. Imagine like back in your day of playing, they did this Global Series. What do you think that experience would be like? Because like we often talk about like players these days, they're wound a bit differently than back in your era.
Yeah, that would be, it would be awesome for me coming over to play an NHL game in Sweden. That would be just unimaginable, to be honest with you. But the way they do it now, it's great. I mean, they went to Australia, and they go to the Czech Republic, and they go all over the world and all over Europe. So I think it's the right way to do it. It's a tough travel for the players, but I think they enjoy it. I can't speak for them, but if I read and hear what they say, and I think they're happy about their experience.
Jonas, you played for a few teams, and the longest I think was for the Toronto Maple Leafs. You played with some legendary Maple Leafs themselves, coached by Pat Quinn himself. What was your experience in Toronto like, and did you expect that that environment being in the hub of hockey there for the Toronto Maple Leafs?
I came from Montreal, so I played 2 seasons. I played 2 seasons in Montreal, so I kind of knew what to expect coming to Toronto. The media wise and the fan base that they got, and I came from I had a tough season, a tough year in Montreal, and scored 8 goals and didn't know what to expect during the summer going as a free agent. But I didn't have to go. I didn't have to wait long because Toronto called me just on July 2nd, I think, and wanted to sign me. So it was like no brainer for me. So I went there, took a shot, and then was able to stay for 4 years.
What was it like to play for the legendary Pat Quinn on a daily basis? People tell stories about him. I had an opportunity to meet Pat Quinn at the World Junior, I think back in 2007. Just an unbelievable man.
He was an unbelievable man. He was like, you know what it looked like. He was big, kind of intimidating looking, you know, but he was a very kind and nice man. And he was a player's coach. He let the players play as long as you did as you were told. And, you know, we had a pretty good team all my seasons there. So we went to the playoffs and went deep in the playoffs. So he was very successful. And, you know, I loved playing for him.
I bet last year we had a pretty emotional roller coaster ride there with Börje Salming coming and getting his tribute and seeing how frail he looked. And unfortunately, he passed away not long afterwards at all. So tell us a little bit about what he means to you, being your fellow countryman and being a Leafs legend.
What can be said about Börje that hasn't been said already? You know, he was a trailblazer for all the Swedes. He was one of the first ones to come over. And to really make it over there. So he was, and his talent, you know, he was such a good player, and he played the same way all the time. He blocked shots. He wasn't afraid to get in there. He was, you know, in that era when he came over too. That you know, there was the Bro Street Bullies or whatever you call the Philadelphia Flyers back then. You know, there were some tough teams, and he really. He really got to you know, experience going through some you know, hard times over there, but he battled it out, and he was able to stay for 18 or 17 seasons. And I was able to play against him when he moved back. Actually, he moved back after his years in North America. He came over, and I played against him in the Swedish Elite League when he was like 40 years old or something like that. And he blocked. I took a slap shot for go to take a change or go. Exchange. So I was going to shoot it in from the red line, and he was outside the blue line and blocked my shot. You know, dropped back down on two knees and blocked my slap shot like in the stomach. He was 40 years old. You know, that's just the way he played.
Absolute legend. I wanted to ask you as well about another legend who has yet to get into the Hockey Hall of Fame, and somebody you played with, Alexander Mogilny. I don't know what's going on there, man. Like, he deserves it. You played with him, right?
Yeah, I played with him for 2 seasons, I think. He was such a talent. He was such a easygoing guy. You know, he never got too high, never got too low. He could have bad games too, but he was the same way anyway, all the time. And he did the things that he did, you know, on the ice. It was just, you know, he should be in the Hall of Fame for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I hope he gets his day in the Hall one day, because again, I remember that era like it was yesterday, and Almo was phenomenal. I just want to dovetail the conversation, just get your thoughts on everything transpiring around Willie Nylander having an unbelievable contract year. He's really elevated this year. Like, I think he's turned into a bona fide superstar. What does your gut tell you on Nylander in that situation? Like, to me and to us, he feels like he was just born to be a Maple Leaf. I'd love to see him here long term.
Yeah, I heard some interviews, and he made it clear that he wants to stay a Maple Leaf, right? So, and he's making his case for it. So it's going to be tough for the Maple Leaf brass not to sign him. I mean, as long as they can fit him under the salary cap, I don't know. He's going to be demanding a lot. He's going to ask me for a lot, and he's playing like he deserves a lot of money. So, you know, but he's, like you said, he's playing like a bona fide superstar right now, and you know, and he has some good years, and but the way he started this season, you know, I don't think Maple Leafs can afford not to sign him.
I agree. Worth every penny. Lastly, what have you been up to these days? And you're looking forward, obviously, to the weekend here, right?
Yeah, I do. I'm looking forward to it. But I work as an instructor at a local high school here in my hometown, Karlstad. It's about 3 hour west. 3 hour car drive from Stockholm. So that's what I've been doing for the last 3 years. And I also help my agent with a little scouting and recruiting, and watch a lot of kids play hockey.
Make sure to check out more of our content right here on the Leafs Nation YouTube page. We got long form interviews, we got clips, we got epic rants by Jay Rosehill. We simply have it all. And don't forget, you can find out much more at theleafsnation.com. Thanks so much for watching.